What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fight Pit here at House Call Sports. My name is Sammy HT, and today we will be making our Crown Jewel predictions, as well as discussing the fact that Rhea and Liv, that storyline happening until WrestleMania potentially. We'll discuss that and a bit more. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, Vivid Seats. Vivid Seats is the most trustworthy and easy to navigate ticketing website. They have reliable and rewarding tickets with a 100% buyer's guarantee, which means your transaction will be safe and secure. You will get full service customer care and be compensated for any canceled events. And it's got the only ticket rewards program around. All that means is, ladies and gentlemen, getting tickets to WrestleMania is going to be expensive, but make it worth your while. Use Vivid Seats, hit the link in our description, and go sit vividly. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to start getting into Crown Jewel, but we have some news coming from WWE. WWE is reporting that Rhea Ripley suffered a fractured right orbital socket following Liv and Raquel's attack last night, which will put Ripley out of action for an undisclosed amount of time. Now, PW Insider also reported that Rhea Ripley does have an injury behind the ongoing story with Liv Morgan, but no confirmed specifics at this time. Now, I think this is good and bad for the women's division. It's good because I think now the women's division is going to have its time to shine. Io Sky, I believe, is going to be the next challenger for Liv Morgan's women's world title. And I'm excited for that. I think Io Sky deserves it. I think Io Sky has been fantastic in the past couple of months at Raw. Her match quality, her overall entertainment value has been fantastic. Liv Morgan obviously has been champion for over 100 days at this point. I'm just wondering, when exactly are we going to just go ahead and call things like they are? The storyline between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley has been a complete dud. It has been a complete dud, and because it's been a complete dud, I think they know that fans are kind of getting tired of it. Now, no amount of Rhea Ripley pops can save the fact that this feud is going down the drain a bit. So I think they really did this to save face. They really did this because, well, quite frankly, the storyline is practically stale at this point. And I think they want to get a new challenger for Survivor Series, which completely makes sense. Now Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez did attack Rhea Ripley at NXT. I hope that this is to write Rhea Ripley off for WrestleMania. But this also means that, unfortunately, I don't see a way where Liv Morgan loses the title to anybody, which means anybody that she faces from here on out, I don't think they're gonna win. And that sucks, because I think Io Sky deserves to be champ again. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the work that Io Sky has been putting in, but she's been absolutely fantastic. She's been the highlight of the women's division, other than Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. That women's division over in Raw is struggling. And it's kind of unfortunate that we are going to these lengths to try to extend this feud, because I'll be honest, I want this feud to end. I don't want this feud to keep going. The feud felt special after SummerSlam. It felt special up until even at Bash at Berlin. But after what happened at Bad Blood, I think we all are kind of getting sick of it. And obviously there are some people who are digging this storyline, and I don't want to speak for everybody. Let me not say all of us are sick of this storyline, but I personally am. And I know a lot of people who also are very sick of this storyline. Look, I never liked Liv Morgan as champion. I think she's been a really average champion at best. She's had some good title defenses, of course. I remember her title defense against Zelina Vega was fantastic. Her title defense against Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, very memorable. But ever since then, I mean, you got bashed at Berlin, didn't defend the title. Bad Blood, she defended the title, completely botched the finish. That was terrible. Hands down, one of the worst finishes to a PLE we've seen in the Triple H era. And unfortunately, now we're going to continue this thing. Now we're going to continue this feud, and it looks like they're going to save it for WrestleMania. And to that I ask, why? Why are we extending this feud towards WrestleMania? I would have 1000% preferred Io Sky getting her moment at WrestleMania against Rhea Ripley, or Rhea Ripley defending her title at WrestleMania against Io Sky. Something else. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I do not buy Liv Morgan as champion. I understand look, this is the best work of Liv Morgan's career. I don't want to deny that. Her heel work is the best of her career, and her being champion, she's semi-elevated that title. But the women's division is held hostage right now, because the women's division is right now 4 people. 3 of them are women, and 1 of them is a man. Thank God they're finally doing something with Dominic Mysterio. But I kid you not, I was afraid that they had completely forgot that Dominic Mysterio should be, at the very least, contending for some kind of mid-card or heavyweight championship. They completely forgot about that. They stuck him into this storyline for God knows how long, and it was getting a bit frustrating. Now, with all this being said, if you are going to make this feud at WrestleMania, I hope that this feud ends at the Royal Rumble. I hope that she's out until the Royal Rumble and she defends her title. Liv Morgan defends her title at the Royal Rumble. I don't need Rhea Ripley entering the Royal Rumble. I want her winning the title at the Royal Rumble. Respectfully. I don't see why in the world we have to keep this going to WrestleMania. Have Io Sky win the Royal Rumble. Have Rhea Ripley win at the Royal Rumble. Win at the title at the Royal Rumble, rather. And there you have your match at WrestleMania. And it's a much more appealing match than Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the 3rd time, and the 4th time they've actually matched up against each other in general. I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I'm completely sick of this feud. I want this feud to completely end, and I don't know if it will. I do not know if it will. I'm sick of it. I'll leave it at that. Let's get into my Crown Jewel predictions. Why don't we? Right? Crown Jewel is this Saturday, like I said. The match card goes as follows. We got Roman Reigns and the Usos against Solo Sikoa's bloodline. I assume that is going to be Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. We then have Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the Crown Jewel title. Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax for the Crown Jewel title. LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade for the US title in a triple threat match. And then the women's 4-way tag team title match. That's going to be, I believe it's Piper Niven and I can't believe Chelsea Green. There you go. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. You got Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. And then you also have Io Sky and Kairi Sane against, of course, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. We got 2 more matches after that, and I think these 2 matches are probably the most important matches of the entire feud, of the entire PLE. You got Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, and you got Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins. Let's get the women's 4-way title match out of the way. I think this is a perfect time to drop the belts off to Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. And I'm going to pick them to win this match. And I know this is kind of a crazy take to have, but I think it's time that we had some NXT call-ups make a name for themselves very quickly. And I wouldn't mind that being Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. I understand Io Sky and Kairi Sane probably are the favorites. For the record, I don't expect Bianca and Jade to retain their titles. I think they should need to go back into being singles competitors once and for all. I think the tag team division in general is going to be in good hands with Pure Fusion Collective. You got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. You got Kairi Sane and Io Sky. But why not give the titles to Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson? Will the pop be big? Probably not. But quite frankly, I don't really care. I think we really need to get these titles off of Bianca and Jade. And I think Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson are a great team to do it. They're already very entertaining. I wish they got a bit more mic work, which is kind of why I'm a little iffy about this pick, but I'm kind of going with my gut feeling here. I'm going to pick Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend to win the women's tag team titles. And what's funny is that I do want to segue into this. When they announced this match, I realized this is the 6th match, the 7th match even. They added 7 matches on this PLE. And I did a bit of research. And the last time Triple H did a 7 PLE with over 5 matches, ironically enough, it was SummerSlam. It was King and Queen of the Ring, also in Saudi Arabia, and it was at WrestleMania. The last PLE before WrestleMania to go over 5 matches. You guessed it, Crown Jewel 2023. It seems like WWE is investing a lot in these Saudi PLEs because quite frankly, they really enjoy giving 5 matches to France, to Perth, Australia, to Berlin. But for Saudi Arabia, they're getting more than 5. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if they just have a contract with Saudi Arabia that it's got to be a bigger match card. But if the next Survivor Series is going to be 5 matches, I'm just saying a little unfair. I feel a little unfair that you are giving Saudi Arabia more than 5 matches, but you're not giving them to Berlin. You're not giving them to Perth, Australia. You're not giving them to France. You're not. I mean, that doesn't seem fair to me. That doesn't seem fair to me. But regardless, we can go ahead and move on. I think if you're going to do that, if you're going to give the 5+ matches to Saudi, it's only right you give them to every B-level PLE. I don't get that. Crown Jewel in general is not exactly a memorable PLE to a lot of people. I gotta admit, no one really cares about Crown Jewel. No one cared about this PLE until very, very recently, as a matter of fact. So regardless, we will go ahead and move on. I do have Jakara, Jackson, and Lash Legend winning this women's 4-way match for the tag team title. Let's go move on to the triple threat between LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade. Now, these 3 men have been on a pretty solid feud for the last couple of months. The way they did last week on Friday, Game 7, felt a little unearned, felt a little flat, did not like it whatsoever, and it was hands down the worst match of the entire series between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Evidently, they did that for a reason. They got the match at the triple threat at Crown Jewel. We all know Saudi Arabia really loves Crown Jewel. Saudi Arabia really loves LA Knight, yeah. So I'm actually wondering, is there a chance that Carmelo Hayes and Andrade wins? I don't think Andrade is going to win this title. I think the best man to take the title off LA Knight is probably going to be Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight have not gone one-on-one for the title yet. I'm thinking, or rather, they have gone one-on-one for the title yet, but it was due to interference that Carmelo Hayes lost. I think LA Knight's going to retain here. But I do expect Carmelo Hayes down the line to be the man to take the title off LA Knight. LA Knight has had already a pretty damn good feud, has had a pretty damn good reign. I thought the feud between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade was fantastic up until the very end. But I like how these mid-card feuds are kind of tying in finally and making the U.S. title matter. I remember when Logan Paul had the title. The title didn't really matter that much. And maybe it did matter because it wasn't really defended. We got to remember, Logan Paul won the title last year at Crown Jewel. He defended it like once against Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble, again at WrestleMania, and then after that, he defended at SummerSlam, and that's it. And that it felt like a bit of a bummer. So I think, thank God he's not carrying a title anymore. I think Logan Paul is best reserved for dream matches. Look, he's very entertaining, but he's best reserved for dream matches like his match against Seth Rollins in WrestleMania 39. If he wants to feud with Randy Orton, that's cool too. I loved his feud with Kevin Owens. I thought it was very entertaining. But quite frankly, I don't need Logan Paul. If he's not going to be full-time, I don't need Logan Paul as a champion. It's as simple as that. With that being said, LA Knight, in my opinion, is going to retain. I think LA Knight is going to continue this title reign all the way to, I believe, in my opinion, I think Survivor Series or an episode of SmackDown in December would be a great place to really end his title reign. I don't need this title reign going past the Royal Rumble. But LA Knight's been fantastic so far. If he could, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he can keep this thing going. Maybe he can keep the momentum going. Maybe he can remain over. And who knows? Maybe LA Knight can keep this title till WrestleMania. I just feel like somebody's got to take the title off him eventually. And I think Carmelo Hayes is the guy to do it. Next week, we'll go ahead and have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. I'm going to make this very, very clear. Kevin Owens needs to win this match. Triple H did not come out and warn Randy Orton about Kevin Owens just for Randy Orton to beat him. I don't think that kind of booking makes any kind of sense. I don't think they would do that on purpose. Clearly, they want Kevin Owens as a heel to matter. And I think this Kevin Owens is championship material. I think this Kevin Owens is capable of taking the title off of Cody Rhodes. Now, granted, he hasn't had another title match since Bash at Berlin. I think he's going to eventually. I don't know when. It might be at Survivor Series, might be at the Royal Rumble, maybe at Saturday Night Main Event. But I think Kevin Owens, he needs to keep winning this. He needs to keep winning. If you're going to build Kevin Owens like the way you built him again, this past Friday on SmackDown, as his threat, as, oh, Randy Orton, I'm protecting you from Kevin Owens. That's an insane thing to say, and it can't go for nothing. So with that being said, Kevin Owens needs to win this match at Crown Jewel. Now, next matchup, Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins. Again, another match where I feel that Bronson Reed needs to go over here. He needs to. If you're gonna establish Bronson Reed as a monster, he needs to be unbeatable as a monster, and he can't be losing as much. And if he is gonna lose, it better take like 5 curb stomps. But I don't expect him to lose. I don't expect Triple H to build Bronson Reed up the way he's built Bronson Reed, and for him to lose against Seth Rollins, my opinion makes no sense. My opinion doesn't add up. Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins easily have had the most entertaining feud Bronson Reed has easily been a spotlight on Monday Night Raw, hands down, one of the biggest spotlights on Monday Night Raw. And I love the fact that they are not really giving him time on the mic. Now, Bronson Reed on the mic is not a bad spectacle. I want to reiterate. He can go on the mic a bit. But putting him up against Seth Rollins, that's not how you build him up. That's not. It's similar to what they did with Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura, they hid his weaknesses through vignettes. Super cool vignettes. I thought that he was going to win the title because of those vignettes. He was so damn good. Same thing. Now, Finn Balor, you can put him up against anybody. He'll be just fine. But Bronson Reed, his strength isn't the mic. His strength is destruction. It is. And if you just have him keep brawling, if you have him keep just keep on doing what got him over in the first place, these backstage brawls, the tsunamis, all these things got him over. And I expect him to get a payoff at Crown Jewel. I expect him to get this payoff right here. I don't know where Bronson Reed goes from here if he does beat Seth Rollins, but I would hope it would be for some kind of title shot for either the Intercontinental title against Braun Breaker or maybe the World Heavyweight title against Gunther. More on Gunther later, but I think Bronson Reed deserves some kind of compensation for the simple fact that he's been putting on hands down the best work of his career. And his feud with Braun Strowman was fantastic. I think his feud with Seth Rollins, already a banger feud, even though we only discussed it for about 3 weeks, already a banger feud. Loved their segment on Monday Night Raw this past Monday. But bottom line is this: I think Bronson Reed needs to go over, and I think he needs to go over in a way that is not necessarily too dominant, but he needs to win convincingly against Seth Rollins. I do believe that. So I would be very, very disappointed. I would be very, very disappointed if Bronson Reed doesn't go over in this match. I would. Let's talk about one of the Crown Jewel title matches. I'm going to go with the one I'm least excited for. Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. They have not made me care about this feud. They have put no effort at all in making me care about this feud whatsoever. I'm not going to lie. I really have no thoughts on this match. I think the match is going to be okay. I think I can give you a winner, and I think the winner is going to be Nia Jax. I think Nia Jax should win the Crown Jewel title. Not that really matters, but I think Nia Jax has been a dominant champion, and she should remain a dominant champion. You can't have her lose to Liv Morgan. I don't think Liv Morgan has really deserved that one, quite frankly. Nia Jax already got pinned against Naomi, so clearly Naomi and Nia Jax are going to run it back at possibly Survivor Series, or maybe Saturday Night Main Event, or maybe a random episode of SmackDown. They love doing the random episode of SmackDown title matches. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but with that, being said, Nia Jax is gonna win this match. Again, they've put no effort into this feud. They have not made me care for this feud whatsoever. And the only thing really interesting about this Nia Jax and Liv Morgan storyline is because, well, quite frankly, Tiffany Stratton went to Monday Night Raw and teamed up with Rhea Ripley, and that was fun. But honest to God, other than that, nothing really. It's created some friction between Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, but other than that, not really much to go on about this match. I expect Nia Jax to win. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the other Crown Jewel title. Now this, they have tried really hard to make us care about this title match between Cody and Gunther. They've put a lot more effort, and I think they've done a really, really good job. They really have. Now, the match is going to cook. Now, does the title really matter? No. But it feels refreshing that the WWE is really trying to sell, and they've used Cody Rhodes, and they've used Gunther. Both of them have been absolutely phenomenal in their promo work. Although this last promo between Gunther and Cody Rhodes, I believe Gunther absolutely destroyed Cody Rhodes, which is, by the way, really impressive, because Gunther, his strength is not on the mic. His strength is on the mat. We all know this. But lately, Gunther has been hands down. I am so glad Gunther has been this kind of champion, and not just the champion that just fights. He had that reign with the Intercontinental Championship, but with this World Heavyweight Championship, you see his entertainment. He's become more and more entertaining as the weeks and the months have gone by. And with that, I think it's really weird. This is probably the toughest match to predict, in my opinion, between Cody Rhodes and Gunther. And I'll be honest, I really haven't made a decision yet. But I will say that they've done a great job building this feud. They've done a great job making us try to care. This Friday, by the time you see this video, it might be on Friday. But tonight, potentially, hopefully, they're going to have Ludwig Kaiser versus Gunther against Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther versus Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. And that match is going to cook. I can't wait for that. But as for who the winner is going to be, man, I just don't see Cody Rhodes being pinned. I don't see any of these guys being pinned. I'm gonna go via distraction, Cody Rhodes. No, via distracting, Gunther. I think he's gonna win. This is literally off the top of my head, folks. I'm so sorry. I did not really prepare for this match for me to make a prediction. I thought down the line I'd have to be ready. I was not whatsoever. But regardless of that, I do think Gunther's going to win. I think Kevin Owens is going to interfere, going to protect Cody Rhodes. And I think Gunther deserves to be one of the very few to pin Cody Rhodes. Not a lot of people have pinned Gunther either, but I think Gunther deserves to pin Cody Rhodes. And it's going to be via distraction, granted. It's not going to be who the better man is, unfortunately. But if they do decide to have Cody Rhodes lose clean, I wouldn't be mad at that either. And then let's talk about, I don't think this is going to be the main event, but I do think this is hands down probably the most important match of the entire night. It's going to be Solo Sikoa's Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Solo Sikoa against Roman Reigns, Jimmy, and Jay, the Usos. I think it's very obvious that they need Solo Sikoa's Bloodline to go over here. Excuse me. I think they need Solo Sikoa's Bloodline to be over here. Let me tell you something about Solo Sikoa. He has stepped up his game so much and he is so much more entertaining. Honestly, I would not be mad if Solo Sikoa pinned Roman Reigns in this match. I wouldn't be mad. He's been so damn entertaining. I understand it's only been a couple weeks, but this version of Solo Sikoa, I call it the troll version of Solo Sikoa, hands down better than the Solo Sikoa impersonating Roman Reigns. That didn't feel authentic, and I think now we're getting the real Solo Sikoa, which they should have done from the very beginning. I understand you wanted to take Solo Sikoa seriously. You wanted him to cut serious promos, and he has still been cutting serious promos, but it feels like there's more of a troll side to him, a comedy side to him, something that's actually entertaining. And I think Solo Sikoa needed this, because up until this side of Solo Sikoa, he was the third most. He, in my opinion, felt like the third most important bloodline of Solo Sikoa's bloodline. I felt like Tama Tonga was more entertaining than Solo Sikoa at one point. And I should never feel that way at all, especially if you're the leader. So I'm excited. I do think Solo Sikoa's bloodline are gonna get this win against Roman Reigns and the Usos. This is hands down going to be in a Survivor Series match. I definitely think it's gonna happen. My question is, are they gonna have Sami Zayn be the fourth member, or is it gonna be somebody else? Are they going to keep it 4v4 and have the bloodline versus the bloodline? I wouldn't mind that personally, but if they're going to do that, I think Solo Sikoa's bloodline needs a win over the OG bloodline, and I think this is the spot to do it. I think at Crown Jewel. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited for this match. I feel like Jacob Fatu against Roman Reigns. I cannot wait for that stare down. I can't wait for them to go in the ring. I just can't wait to see. I think that match might be the match I'm most excited for, just because of the storyline that we're getting from the bloodline. It feels like the bloodline storyline has been getting a bit better. It's been ramping up, and I think it's going to pay off all the way to Survivor Series, where evidently we could get a revelation of potentially The Rock being the mastermind behind Solo Sikoa's bloodline. I'm very excited for this PLE. I don't know if I'll be watching. I'll be at work. It sucks that they do this at 1 o'clock p.m. I'm working at that time, but hey, it is what it is. I'll probably rewatch it on that Saturday night or the very next day on Sunday. Regardless, I'll be watching and I'll be ready. We thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please go down on the comment section and let me know your predictions for Crown Jewel. Let me know what you think of Rhea and the Liv storyline being extended all the way to WrestleMania. I personally don't like it, but hey, you get what you get. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and hit that like button. Follow us on all social media platforms. We have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have obviously Twitter, we have all the social media platforms, Facebook, everything. Go follow us on all those, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.